Nerdcore could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore used to be just a made-up word. MCs.
What's up, nerds? Welcome. We're back. We had a little hiatus, but we're back. The hiatus was because we were actually waiting on this. So we're going to start with our normal, then we're going to get into it because we've got our co-host here, which is Dr. Justin. You all know him, so let's get right into it. Welcome to Every Man's Guide to Nerddom. We are two nerds who talk about pretty much whatever we want. I'm Chris. My co-host for today is, if you're looking here, is over here is Dr. Justin.
Hello.
Or for the remainder of the football season, Commish, Dr. Justin, Commish.
Yes, and I do require you to bow, not look me in the eyes, anything like that. Thank you.
Be careful. I was tricked 3 times by that one. But yeah, just be careful with that, everyone. So everyone, as you know, we are a nerd podcast, talk about pretty much whatever. Sports balls. This time it's sports balls, comics, movies, whatever. Just click on the link in the show notes down below. And join us on Discord with other like-minded nerds. You'll have a lot of fun. This is where I met a lot of these guys, is through Discord, through the online gaming community. You'll meet some of your good friends that way. So nothing wrong with that. And I think some people actually prefer it that way as to seeing other people in real life. So mostly Jethro. If you look at Jethro, he is ready to go. Jethro's been on the show before. Joining us today, we have, as I said, Dr. Justin, we've got Jethro, we've got Shantae, we've got Brob, we've got Hughes, and we've got Positively Frosty. Make sure if, I know Frosty and Jethro stream, make sure you guys follow them. We'll post their links down below. So with that, we are going to go over our preseason rundown of how the draft is going to work. Then we're going to get straight into the draft like we have the last 3 years. Dr. Justin is our commish. Dr. Justin, take it away, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Chris. And thanks to you and Kyle and everyone that's associated with the podcast to allow me to do this. As Chris pointed out, I am a nerd in several areas, and one of those is sports. So football and fantasy football has been something I've been playing for close to 25 years. And it's what I listen to, what I do, all of that. So when Chris was like, yeah, let's do a league, I jumped at it. And so we've been doing this now for 4 years, I think, right? Yeah, 4 years, because I'm on my 4th DC character team name. So also one of my nerddoms. And so, yeah, we're really excited to have everybody. We have some new players. We have a lot of returning players. And everyone that's here on the podcast with us today is going to be is going to be drafting as we're podcasting. So our draft is going to start in 4 minutes and 5 seconds. So I will give you a brief overview and then we'll go straight into that. But in fantasy football, it's basically D&D for jocks, if you will. You go through and you choose different players from NFL teams, how they scored that day or that week. Goes into a computer program that's much smarter than I am. And it looks at a team that you play. So if I play, let's say Shantae, all of my players that I drafted go against all the players that she drafted, and whoever scores the most points wins that week. It goes all the way through the season into the playoffs, and then we have Super Bowl and all that. We have our reigning champion, Brob here. So everyone say hey to Brob. And then Hughes is our reigning second place, if I remember right. Right, Hughes? Okay, yes. All right. So. Okay, cool. But I also want to give a shout out to Nora. So Nora is sitting there with Hughes. She is my bestie. She also just turned 6. So everyone wish Nora a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Nora!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Would you like
Happy
to say
birthday.
hi, Nora?
Hi.
All right. Thank you. And
You know what?
every-
That's great, Nora. You are now
everything,
internet famous.
and the rest of this podcast is going to be downhill from there. And there's also Wesley for anyone that's watching the other little one. So we're glad to have all of y'all on here as well. So here in a minute, once the draft starts, we have a draft order, and it's a snake draft. So it starts 1 through 12, then 12 through 1, 1 through 12, 12 through 1, until we get all of our starters and bench filled. And so the first pick is going to be Foxy Bunny, then Experiment 626, then Jehovah's Thickness, that's going to be Guyver. Then the Themyscira Fighting Divas, that's going to be me. Jethro's, I don't see the whole name. What's your name, Jethro?
Beer Belly Blitz.
There you go. Love it.
Okay, thank you for changing it, because I was going to question you earlier about your name.
Well, I was trying to do the water the flowers, and it was too much. So
Makes sense. And then I think B-Rob's still going to change his name, but he's up here, and then he's pick 8. Vitamin C. Who's Vitamin C?
Me.
Dante.
Okay. Oh, Shantae. There you go.
Because I'm a smart ass.
There you go. All right. So Vitamin C, Shantae is picking 6. Then Alex is going to be picking 7th. B-Rob's going to be picking 8th. Armed Rodri is going to be picking 9th.
Isn't that Lydia?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Hughes is going to be picking 10th. Mason, are you logged into the ESPN? I don't show you on there. Just want to make sure that you're logged in so you can actually draft your players. And then John's Supremus, or actually tell me, is that Positively Frosty? Is that your team?
that's Loki.
Oh, it's Loki. Okay. So John's Supreme something. I can't read the rest
Supreme
of it.
team.
Supreme team.
Supreme team. There we go. And
If you
then-
roll your mouse over it, Justin, it'll show the full name. You don't have to click on anything. You just put it over it.
Thank you, sir. And then last but definitely not least, we have Positively Frosty with Hit Me With Your Prescott. Best name for sure so far. So as we go through, I'm going to be talking with the group and seeing about their strategy, what they're thinking as far as who they want to draft, why they drafted who they did. Everyone's going to have 2 minutes to draft. It usually doesn't take that long, but I set it that for that. So that way we could talk a little bit, but if people aren't here, it's going to auto draft and it's going to go pretty quickly. So any questions from anyone in the group?
Yeah.
All right. So
I'll save them for later.
Okay, good. Do that. It's great podcasting.
Yeah,
right,
Justin,
so
is
starting
being
in 3
12
seconds.
is being 12th, is that a disadvantage for anyone who hasn't done this?
Not necessarily. If you're 12th, you also get to pick 13th. So if you get first pick, you've got the best player, or who you get your pick of anyone, but you don't pick again until 24th. And so you've got the best, but then you got the 24th best player, if you will. But if you're picking 12th, you got the 12th and the 13th player. So Foxy Bunch is up on, and I think they're going to do auto picks. So that's going to give us a second to actually talk about it. So for the people on the podcast here, the managers, what strategies do you have going into a draft? Do you look for drafting players from OU because you know they're the best? Do you look for, that's for B-Rob. Are you looking for what? Tell me what you think.
I'll start because we all know Guyver doesn't know what the hell he's doing on these. I go for players who I recognize from OU or OSU, or just players' names that I recognize. Yeah,
Cool.
that's where I go, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Luckily for you, the only OSU player that could be drafted is going to be in the 10th round, like Chuba Hubbard. So everyone else is going to be OU. Once OSU gets a better team, then B-Rob will be able to start to draft them. So
This is true. Although OSU did win very nicely this
who,
weekend.
the number 2 receiver is, right?
say again.
Tyreek.
Sorry. Well, if you get kicked off a team, that doesn't mean you can still claim them. So yeah.
I can claim him. He was there. I got his jersey.
Hey, there
He
you go.
He didn't push me down the stairs.
True. You're not a female. So the Foxy Bunch looks like they're about to pick theirs, and it's probably going to be CMC, Christian McCaffrey. He's pretty much consensus the 1-1 in every draft, and so we'll see. All right, Christian McCaffrey is off the board, so now it's up to Ben, who I think is also auto drafting, so we have a little bit more time.
Yep.
So
Ben's at Disney right now.
Oh, good for him. So Shante, let me ask you, first couple years you played and you were learning about it. Last year you drafted like a pro and you had a really great team and did really well throughout the season. So what was the change for you from the first couple years to last year?
The first 2 years, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and now I just look at the players and look at their stats.
Okay. Very nice.
And it sucks for Iowa because we have no professional teams, so I don't know anybody on the list.
Yeah. Just it sucks for Iowans in general because you're from Iowa.
Iowanians.
Yeah, Ioweenies. Maybe that's
Ioweenies.
all right. So B Rob, as the defending champion of the league, what's your strategy coming into the draft this year?
We got a Loki
Man.
incoming.
Sweet.
This is honestly one of the funnest drafts because I don't know what's going to happen because there are so many people that have different strategies, may not know really what they're doing, like Ivor, who just pick names out of a hat, or the logo's cool, or hey, I want to be a Viking at some point in my life, like Kyle, so I draft a Viking. So this one's a lot of fun, and you have to take a different approach to it. And it's not a PPR; you don't get points per reception, so
Right.
it's definitely different than any of my others. So you got to really be on your toes and pay attention.
Heck yeah.
Loki, welcome in, sir. Loki's a man of few words. All right, continue,
Yes.
Dr. Justin.
All right.
We got 10 seconds left.
So yeah, so 10 seconds and then it's up to you, Guyver, so you know who you're gonna be picking.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Jehovah's Thickness for the win.
all right. So Bijan Robinson was taken as the second pick. So what are you going to be going with? Okay, CD Lamb. Nice. So CD Lamb is the third pick going to Guyver.
Look at Frosty.
I am going to take Brees Hall with the fourth pick.
Frosty,
and-
do we keep taking your teams?
So Frosty, why are you not Frosty right now?
Dude, Lamb's just fun to watch on the actual field too. Like, I mean, he's just a stellar player. Also from my home team, so I get kind of, particular there. But one of my favorite receivers in the league, and definitely wears 88 well. So,
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw this, but it just came out a few minutes ago. Dallas has already been eliminated from the playoffs.
that was actually like 6 months ago. So
It was cocaine.
That's every year. Huh?
Yeah, right. Well, I'm gonna
Dallas players will win you a lot of fantasy championships, just not real ones.
Yeah.
True.
But hey, we here in Oklahoma, we like to give we're basically in Tulsa. We're right in between Kansas City and Dallas. And so we kind of get a little bit of both, unless you're B-Rob, and then you go for Denver, which there are quite a few here as well. But I'm going to be picking Brees Hall. I'm going with a running back. Running backs tend to be a little bit more reliable, I think, with their points. And so that's why I'm going with. But there's also Tyreek Hill there, who is just a point machine. But I think I feel a little bit more comfortable with Brees Hall, so I'm going there. And then Jethro, you are up, sir, right now. So who are you thinking you're going to go for, Jethro?
I mean, y'all already took mine. Yeah, Tyreek, he's looking good with this first round pick. Chase looks good. Jefferson looks good as well. But yeah, any, many, mighty, mo.
Yeah,
So,
and Jamar Chase still hasn't committed to playing the first week. They're calling it a hold in instead of a holdout. So just for anyone that chooses Jamar Chase, you might be aware of that. But I'm sure by the first of the season, here in 4 days, totally get that worked out. So all right. So who are you choosing, Jethro?
I'm gonna go with Jefferson.
All right. I think it's a good choice. A lot of people were feeling like, oh no, his quarterback is going to be the worst. And he's not super great with him bouncing around, but at the same time.
Okay. I got a little bit of an issue. I can't see anything.
Okay. Go up to the on the app. You'll see
There we go. I
players,
had to refresh
pick
page.
history. Oh, there you go. All right. I was gonna say if you click players right
Oh,
underneath.
I had to refresh it.
All right. So what
Like
are
I
you
couldn't
thinking?
click at all.
Oh. So who are you thinking you're gonna go with,
Yeah,
Shante?
let's do this.
Who is this person?
We've got pretty much everybody there ready for you.
Derrick Henry.
All right. So going with the 68-year-old running back, changing teams, but he's probably going to score more touchdowns than any running back in the league. So it's a solid pick. All right. So now human touchdowns are on an auto pick. It'll take about 2 minutes. So B Rob, you're going to be up next. So seeing the players that are taken off the board, where are you feeling? Are you hoping that Tyreek falls to you here in a second, or
No, because I mean, yeah, that's kind of the tough thing is I'm kind of with you, particularly in a league where it's not a PPR. I feel safer taking a running back at this point. So I think I know where I'm gonna go, and I haven't got to draft him on any of my other teams. So um, my wife will be angry.
okay?
So if that gives you any type of clue.
Okay. Hey, you know what? If your wife isn't a little bit angry at your drafts, then you're not doing it right.
Yeah, but she's gonna be happy this weekend, hopefully, when at the Arkansas OSU game. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, man, that's gonna be good times.
I
All
think
right,
it's
so
gonna be.
so Hughes, you're gonna be picking a couple picks after. Is there anyone you're eyeballing? Well, I guess I don't want to have. Well, actually, B Rob probably already knows who he's taking. So you think you're
I
gonna
do.
go towards running back?
Okay.
You want to go ahead and get your kicker out of the way first round, Hughes?
I'll wait till B-Rob picks.
Okay.
I just want to know who Nora's gonna pick.
Strategery. So Nora, who's your favorite sports figure?
I don't know.
Say
Is it
Chiefs.
Bluey?
Nora, say Guyver.
I've seen Bluey play sports before, so I
Thank
think
She
you.
wouldn't even say Guyver. She was like
know.
actively no.
I know.
She knows that much about sports.
Good
Yep.
kid.
Yep.
You don't want to say go
Smart
Chiefs?
kid.
Mhm.
she's smart. She doesn't want to say go Chiefs. All right, so human
did.
touchdowns took Tyreek Hill, so now B Rob is on the clock. So you want to walk us through your thought process, B Rob?
Yeah. So again, I haven't. There are two guys here that I've kind of wanted. This is the first time I've drafted at 8, but in this league, I do want a receiver. So both Jonathan Taylor and Saquon are there. Saquon was with the Giants, my wife's favorite team. I think he's in a really good position in Philly. I think Hurts will steal some of his touchdowns once they get to the goal line, but Saquon also gets a little bit more of a distance on his run. So we'll see how it works out. I'm going to draft Saquon.
I think it's a good choice. A lot of people are like, "Oh no, tush push is going away, possibly whatever." But if you look at the statistics from last season, DeAndre Swift was tackled 6 times at the 1 yard line, and that's why Hurts had so many 1 yard touchdown tush push type of thing. Saquon will just push that in. He's much better than. I know that's not a controversial thing, but much better than DeAndre Swift. That's why they got rid of him and signed Saquon. So I think it's a really solid pick. All right, Armed Rodgery is on the clock, so that gives Hughes a minute to tell us now that Saquon is taken. So are you thinking Amron? Are you thinking Jamar Chase, Jonathan Taylor? Where are you feeling?
Not sure. I mean, Jamar dropped this far, but there's no telling how much longer he'll keep holding out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't have any. Personally, I'd probably go Jahmyr Gibbs, but that might be a little too low of a pick. I just like the way he plays. I mean, I feel like he's probably a closer pick to Saquon, like of their style of play. Like they're both physical runners, so that would be my pick.
Hey, that's the beauty of fantasy football is you talk to different experts, and different experts will have, rankings and all that. I've seen Jahmyr Gibbs go as high as the third pick. So under CMC and Brees Hall, but I've also seen him go in the second round, which is really too late for the hit that talent. So yeah, that's the great thing about fantasy football, is that you can make it your team. And so if you want certain players, cool, reach for them. But I don't think the 8th pick, what are you? 10th pick. I don't think the 10th pick in the league is reaching for Jahmyr Gibbs. All right, so Armed Rodgery took Jamar Chase. So now, Hughes, you are up. What are you feeling? You got your pick of the litter.
Okay, you want to get him? Okay, you gonna move it? No. Yeah, go right.
All right, we have Nora picking for Hughes.
Click it. Nope.
All right, Jahmyr Gibbs. Nice. All right. So Hughes does take Detroit running back Jahmyr Gibbs with the 10th pick. So are you worried, Hughes, about Montgomery taking carries away?
Not really. I mean,
And if something happens to Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be just.
I mean,
Complete
Montgomery could tear his Achilles just jumping on the sidelines like we saw in the Super Bowl
Yeah.
for the 49ers. So, I mean,
There you go. All right. So Loki, can you hear us? Just want to see if you're back.
okay, we're gonna turn that low.
Where's your
Okay.
brother, Jethro?
I think he's going to auto pick.
Okay. I was gonna say I wasn't sure if he was where he could talk and tell us that. Cool. All right. So Positively Frosty, you're gonna be up after Loki. So of what's left, are you gonna try
We're
to
gonna do
go
pick,
Dallas
and
Cowboy
then,
players? Are you looking for best
and then we're
available?
gonna
What
go
are you
for-
looking at?
Okay.
Last
this is your
year,
second. We're gonna do a third and get off.
running
okay?
backs was like a really tough spot for me. I
Mhm.
I had great receiving
you
core.
can
I had
have
AJ
yours.
Brown. I had Lamb.
You
I
can
had
have your
a
own.
great receiving core. But running backs just really hit me pretty hard. So I'm kind of looking at like an upper level running back. Got a couple in mind. Just want to see obviously where the auto draft puts Loki's pick, but
And there's several draft theories, if you will. There's the hero RB where you draft a running back early, and then you just hit wide receiver hard, quarterback, tight end, that type of thing, and then in the later drafts come and get that second or third. The one thing I didn't mention at the beginning of this podcast was, Amon St. Brown is off the board, and so Positively Frosty, you are up. But one thing I didn't mention at the beginning of the podcast was I changed up the lineup a little bit this year to where we have one specific quarterback, one specific running back, one specific wide receiver, but then you have basically 3 flexes, a 2 running back or wide receiver, so it gives us a little bit more flexibility and it's more competitive, and then a flex who's going to be either running back, wide receiver, or tight end. And then a tight end, kicker, defense, all of that. So with a hero RB or with a hero or with a no RB, or if you want to go for a heavy wide receiver build, something like that, this new format allows you to go through and basically do whatever you want to do. So all right, so Positively Frosty, you've got 2 picks. You've got the 11th or the 12th pick, and then the first pick of the next round, 13th pick. So where do you think you're going?
That's a tough one. I like Jonathan Taylor. I think he's a fantastic back, but I don't feel like his system is strong enough around him to actually give him the support he needs. Isaiah Pacheco, obviously fantastic back, but it's a very it's hard to give him a lot of touches when you got guys like Kelsey in the back, also taking up a lot of that touch. So it's hard to say.
Yeah. And with Pacheco, Samaje Perine was just signed to there. So B-Rob, where did Samaje Perine go to school?
MIT.
I believe it was the She-Hulk School of Twerking.
It's the MIT of the Prairie, OU Boomer. All right, so Isaiah
Did you just call it
Pacheco,
the MIT of the prayer?
it is hashtag.
Look at
I,
Mason's
Probably,
face.
probably why your boss likes it too, Chris.
I am
That's-
I am claiming that I'm making t-shirts, everything. Here we go.
you need to copyright that, sir.
Totally copyright TM. All right, so you get another choice. So Positively Frosty, are you wanting to bolster and have like a great running back since last season maybe, or do you want looking at a top running back and a top wide
There's
receiver?
the hard part is that there's 24 picks before I even get to see the board again, and I don't want all of the like high end receivers to be gone by the time we get there.
Smart.
That's tough.
Yeah, and it's
I'm looking at Puka Nakua, but with Cooper Cup being back, I don't think he's going to get the number of catches that he got last year. Garrett Wilson's exciting on the concept, like if Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy and actually get the ball to him, I think he could have a heck of a season. AJ Brown, of course, is just absolutely solid.
in this first couple rounds, like you really can't go wrong.
You really can't.
But yeah, the Jonathan Taylor's interesting because Anthony Richardson, the quarterback, and he has the ability to break fantasy with his running and everything he does. But all of that running that he does sometimes takes away from the running back. But at the same time, the defense has to basically not put 8 in the box, not stuff the box, and they have to push back, if you will, for those that don't know what that means. Not as many people are on the line, and so it makes a lot more running lanes for the running back. So, and you did go with Jonathan Taylor. I think that's an excellent choice, brother. So, Hughes, you are now back up on the list.
All right. So we're gonna make our last pick, and then we're gonna jump off here for the night.
Okay. We appreciate you joining us, especially you, Nora.
Mm-hmm.
Always good to see you.
All right. You want to pick this one?
And actually, that was Loki got Jonathan Taylor. I picked up AJ Brown.
I'm sorry. That was so quick.
Hit that auto.
I got to get used to this auto pick thing. So thank you for that.
Go here. All right, click it.
Can you make the auto go quicker?
All right.
Once it's gone through the first round.
Yeah, once it goes to the first round, look,
Hey.
you can see it's going,
Gotcha.
going. So, but I like that because we can talk a little bit the first and go into it. All right, so B-Rob is up, and I'll just thanks again, Hughes. Nora,
thanks.
Good to see you.
Thanks for being here, Nora. Good seeing you.
Birthday.
Quick
Happy
recap.
birthday, Nora.
Thanks.
So hit me with your Prescott. So Positively Fresh, Frosty took Isaiah Pacheco and AJ Brown. Very solid start to the team. Then Loki took Jonathan Taylor. Hughes took Kyron Williams, the running back for LA Rams, and then Armed Rodgery took Garrett Wilson. So now, B-Rob, you've got remind me who your first pick was. Saquon Barkley. So you've got Saquon Barkley. Who are you going to add with Saquon Barkley?
I've got 2 people in mind. I'm going running back again. I'm just deciding if I want to really reach since Kyron Williams was just taken because that's who I was going to take. I am going to reach, I think, right now and I'm going to take, I can't ever say his name, Devin Achane.
Yeah, Devon Achane.
Devon Achane. I pulled a Guyver, sorry, and mispronounced
Way to
every piece of
butcher
it.
that one.
It's pronounced who's the
It's
Marvel
pronounced
character?
Dumas.
Festo. There you go. But yeah, Devon Achane, he is the co-running back. There's not really a first team, second team for Miami. He's also one of those that can break fantasy with everything that he can do. If he can just get 1, enough touches, and 2, stay healthy. All right, so Human Touchdowns did take Puka Nakua and Shantae. Okay, tell us real quick. So you took Travis Kelce in the second round. So why Travis Kelce? Is it because you're such a Swiftie? Oh, you're muted, I think. All right. Well, there you go.
Yes, I was.
Have at it.
No, I'm not a Swiftie. You guys were
Alright.
talking about him earlier, so I went and looked at his stats and crap.
Yeah. So stats and
Projected-
crap is definitely good to
Projected
look
of
at.
2024, whatever total points he's supposed to get like 125.
Yeah.
He's
Well, and with
one of the most prolific tight ends in the game, period.
Mhm.
100%. And with the tight end, there's this strategy called great or late. So either get the good ones early on, like you've done, or wait until the end and try to draft someone maybe, not as good, but still in that area. So, and it does give you a little bit of advantage if you have such a good tight end and someone is not, or someone does not. So, all right. So Jethro's beer belly, Blitz, beer belly blitz. I'm loving the alliteration as an English professor. So Jethro, what are you thinking? Where you want to go with it?
I'm torn between Cooper and Diggs.
Man, you can't go wrong either way.
Hang with Mr. Cooper, Jethro.
So we're gonna go with Diggs.
All right.
Them hands run in the family.
Yeah.
On other both sides of the ball. So
heck yeah. Yeah, it's he's and going to Houston. He is, I think, going to really continue what he has been doing in Buffalo there. So it's my pick. Oof.
I worry that Diggs is going to have to fight Collins for a lot of those touches, though.
Oh, you think so?
Don't put bad juju on my team already.
Well, Collins and Stroud already have chemistry. They've already been working together.
Yeah, but you don't pay that kind of money.
Well, that's true.
All right, so with mine, man, I don't know. So I have Brees Hall, and there's a couple other running backs that I really want. I just don't know if I can. It's going to come to me to see one. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks until my next one. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to go with a wide receiver and then pick up a running back after.
Can't go wrong.
Man, trying to decide which. Hey, will someone give me Puka? Mind if I?
Okay, that's what that is.
Can you ask that on?
You can't on this podcast.
You can't on this podcast.
Okay.
No,
I'll gladly give you Puka, but I don't know.
I think I'm gonna do a little bit of a reach. I'm gonna take Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm gonna take a rookie with my pick, and he's the rookie out of Ohio State at Arizona, wide receiver. I don't have him on any other league, and I really want a piece of him. And so it's a little bit of a stretch, but I'm gonna take him. So all right, Jehovah's Thickness, you are up, sir. So you've got a bunch of wide receivers that are there. You've got running backs. You could be the first to take a quarterback. All right. Samaj P. Ryan goes to Jehovah's Thickness. We got Boomer. Got running back. All right. Chris Olave goes to.
Why are you shaking your head, Miro? I saw he got signed.
You picked Samaj P. Ryan.
Hey, you know
out
what?
of all those people,
he picked a name he won't be able to pronounce at all.
Exactly. Well, I did see that they said he's going to have a good year. I read an article on that this week.
That's the beauty.
Like Sooner Weekly or some crap wrote that.
I do produce Sooner Weekly, so I appreciate the plug. But yes, he could be, and you never know in fantasy. Last year, Kyron Williams, who you wanted, B-Rob, was taken in like the 11th, 12th round, and it wasn't really thought.
That's true.
He ended up being a top 5 running back at the end. So you honestly never know. All right. So Chris, you have another pick. You are up again. Is there?
All right.
All right. Kyle Pitts. So he's nailing down his tight end as well. And I almost mentioned I'm back up. I almost mentioned I wanted Travis Etienne Jr. before I took Harrison Jr. and he's still on the board, thankfully. So kind of gamed that just right. So I'm going to take Travis Etienne Jr., the running back from Jacksonville. I think he's going to get a lot of catches and he's going to produce quite a bit of points that way. All right, so Jethro's beer belly blitz. There you go. Whew.
It's a tongue twister.
I like it. All right, so now how are you starting to fill out your team? Are you thinking another wide receiver, another running back? Are you thinking quarterback, tight end?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking QB. I mean, this is my first time in. I want to get a QB on there, and unfortunately, it's not
Because
going to be Prescott.
you didn't have a choice but to join us this year.
Yes, I got my arm twisted. I usually sit and watch Cowboys in disappointment every year, so.
Well, you're only disappointed in December though. Like, I mean, for the rest of the season, you feel great, right?
Half of the time.
Thanks to Shante, we actually have our league. If it wasn't for her twisting people's arms, we wouldn't have everyone in the league. So
she's in the streams, twisting my arms. Yeah, let's go.
yeah, it's her kink. That's cool. So we've got 40 seconds, Jethro. 40 seconds to make a pick.
I don't need that much. So let's go with the Texas native.
All right. So first quarterback is off the list. We have Patrick Mahomes being drafted. All right. So now we've got vitamin C. So Shante, so you've got your tight end. You've got a wide receiver in the first round.
No, running back.
Running back. There you go. So do you want a wide receiver? Do you want a quarterback? Where are you going with it? All right. Brock Purdy is off the board. All right, wow. So Shante takes Brock Purdy, the San Francisco treat, and let me mark him off my list. Okay, and then Human Torchdowns took Nico Collins, wide receiver out of Houston, and so that puts us on to B-Rob. All right, so B-Rob, tell us what's in your brain. What's going on?
Again, this is one of my funnest drafts because all logic goes out the window and people I think that I'm going to get later are gone. So now it kind of and people are here that I wouldn't think. So
you know what I liken it to? Have you ever played poker with someone that doesn't know the rules? And you're like, oh man, I just checked and then raised you or did a check raise, and they don't know what a check raise means. You got a really good hand, and they're like, okay, I'll keep going. And a lot of times you get rich off that, but a lot of times when that river hits and you're like, mother, dang it, they should have been out a long time ago.
Yeah.
So it does make it interesting. I'll definitely give it that.
Right. God.
All right. So Jalen Hurts is off the board to B-Rob. So another quarterback. Armed Rodgery takes Rashad White, the running back out of Tampa Bay. All right, and now we've got Mason, who I think is going to be possibly auto-picking. I'm not sure since he's off now. All right, so why, B-Rob, why go for Jalen Hurts that early?
I think with the weapons he has, if that line can stay healthy, I think they're gonna put up a lot of points, either in the air or on the ground. I mean, I really think they're gonna AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon, Hurts, healthy Dallas Goedert. I mean, I think they're going to be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I don't disagree. So are you picking up, did you want Jalen Hurts specifically to go with Saquon Barkley so you'd have the entire Philadelphia backfield, or is that just
yeah, that's really, I think that if he was there, I was going to take him because if Saquon doesn't get the touch, it'll be Jalen. So that was my theory anyway.
No, it's a solid theory, and especially if there's something like a screen pass, you get double points for that touchdown, that type of thing. So very good. All right, so Positively Frosty, hit me with your Prescott. I really hope you do draft Prescott, by the way, because that would not be as good. But real quick, I'm sorry. So Hughes took Devontae Adams, wide receiver out of Las Vegas. And then Loki took Brandon Ayuk, San Francisco wide receiver. All right, so Positively Frosty, where you think you're going with it? You've got 2 picks to play with.
I'm kind of amazed. I mean, obviously, like he hasn't been healthy in a long time, but Cooper Cup being this low in the rankings is kind of surprising. I mean, just a prolific receiver, and yeah, that's where I'm going. I have to.
It's a good
I
pick.
The
can't
fact
argue
that he's
with
still in the draft, even like the fact that no one else has picked him up already, too.
getting him at the end of the 3rd round. That's going to pay off for you quite a bit.
I agree.
And he's fully healthy, and he's going to return back to where we're used to. And you take Dak Prescott, so we have another quarterback off the board. So Dak Prescott goes to hit me with your Prescott. Thank goodness, because I don't think there's another Prescott player in the draft. All right, so then after we had a slew of Loki took Josh Jacobs, running back for Green Bay. Mason took Kenneth Walker III, running back for Seattle. And then Armed Rodgery took James Cook, running back for Buffalo. So we had a run on running backs there. Pardon that pun. All right, so B-Rob, you're up. So how are you going to add to Hertz and who was your other Saquon, and then who else do you have? Achane. There you go. So probably going to go wide receiver. Or are you going to try to hit?
Yeah, no, I feel like I gotta go. I don't think I really want Laporta. I think this is too high for him. If your name's not Kelsey, I think it's too high to go tight end this high. So got a new quarterback in Atlanta. So I think I'm gonna go Drake.
Oops.
If he was still around whenever I was there or drafting,
My
that's my person. So Drake London, Atlanta wide receiver, goes to B-Rob, and then Human Torchdowns takes Malik Neighbors. Hopefully he gets a new quarterback like this season, but we'll see. All right, so Shante, you are up. So you've got remind us of your picks. Who you have?
Purdy. I have
Okay,
Brock
so
Purdy.
Brock Purdy, quarterback.
Derrick Henry.
All right, Derrick Henry, running back.
And Kelsey.
All right, Travis Kelsey, tight end. So you really could go any direction you want with it.
Yes. And I'm gonna do this.
All right, we got our first defense off the board. So the Browns defense, they were my defense last year, and man, they scored me some points. So
Browns were putting up some defensive numbers last year. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Fun to watch.
Oh,
Oh,
Lydia's in.
Hey, Lydia's joining us. Cool. All right, so we have Jethro. You're back up. So what are you thinking as far as where you want to go with it?
Running back.
Okay.
I hope with Zeke coming back into town, they don't mess him up. But I'm gonna go with Pollard.
All right, there you go. And
Okay.
Pollard's
in Tennessee.
Yeah, he's in Tennessee.
Oh,
now.
is it? Oh,
But-
shit.
But it's a good pick.
Yeah.
It's a great pick because he's
No.
not in Dallas.
Yeah,
Well,
it's-
Yeah, when you consider that they've been such a run-heavy offense for so long, and Pollard's a great running back. Period.
Yeah.
It should work out really well in his
When
favor.
did that happen? I didn't get that memo.
it at the end of the trade season, or beginning of the trade season. I'm sorry. All right, so I've got a minute and a half. So the way this is set up now, we don't just have like 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, all of that. So I could load up on another running back if I wanted to. I could go with different players. Let's see. I'm kind of with B-Rob. Slam Laporta is a little high in this area, but at the same time, I don't. There are
There's a
certain
big dip.
players.
There's a big dip.
Yeah, there's certain players that I want to hit, and kind of like what I was telling Shante, man, if you're better in especially tight end, going up against some others, that's kind of a huge advantage. So I'm kind of leaning towards that because I think I can still find a good running back / wide receiver in the next round, or maybe even a couple rounds because there's a few players I have my eyeballs on. So I think I am going to go Sam Laporta, the tight end out of Detroit. I'm going to draft him. And now Jehovah's Thickness, sir. So before you pick, tell us your team so far.
I have P. Ryan,
Okay.
Lamb, and Pitts.
All right. So 2 Sooners and then Kyle Pitts. So you've got a running back, wide receiver, and a tight end. So you can really go anywhere you want with it.
See, if you get Michael Pittman, he could pair up with Pitts really well. It'd be kind of funny.
You have Josh Allen there, who a lot of people see as the #1 quarterback in the draft. You have CJ Stroud. There you go, who's considered a top 3 for a lot of people. All right, so let me read off these real quick for you before you choose again, Chris, because there were some auto picks. So Chris takes a CJ Stroud, who's going to be a good quarterback and have a lot of weapons for his quarterback. DJ Moore went to
Damn, he got Mixon.
Experiment 626. DJ Moore takes wide receiver DJ Moore. Michael Pittman goes to the Foxy Bunch. Foxy Bunch also takes Josh Allen, quarterback. And then Joe Mixon goes to Boomer, goes to Ben at Experiment 626, who is now at Houston with CJ Stroud. All right, so you've got another pick coming, Chris. What are you thinking you want?
I'm going to go kicker.
All right. So
why not?
Yeah. So Chris is taking the person that he relates to most.
I did. Hey, he got me some points last year.
Hey, he's actually ranked as one of the best for sure, especially with.
I wish this was a money league.
Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins going in.
He got me some. He got me some points last year, and that's one of the few points I got. So I'm going to take what I know.
You won one game, right?
So I've got.
No, I won. Yeah, I won.
So I've got a choice. I can do a running back, a wide receiver, a flex. I could do quarterback. I think I'm gonna lean towards wide receiver. And man, I'm really kind of feeling T. Higgins for some reason. And the wide receiver for Cincinnati, especially with Jamar Chase being possibly out or for at least one game. Who knows how long that's going to last? I think he can put up some monster numbers. I'm looking at Rashee Rice too, because he's not going to be suspended. It just came out. He's not going to be suspended, but just for everyone's information, it came out today that Jordan Addison is going to be suspended, wide receiver for Minnesota. So that whoever took Justin Jefferson, that's going to help his numbers. Okay, I'm going to do T. Higgins. I'm going on a limb.
Smart play, healthy Burrow.
Like just holler at me when it's my turn.
Okay, I'll yell at you. You're the next pick, so it's going to be Jethro and then you, Shantae. All right, so Jethro, what are you thinking? Where are you going with this?
Well, I was kind of aiming towards the kicker as well, because they use them a lot, you know, because they can't convert in the red zone. So let's go with Aubrey.
All right, so we have Aubrey, the Dallas kicker, off the board. So you guys are nailing down your teams, which is so much. It makes fantasy so much more fun whenever it's the players that you're used to watching and you can follow them and do that. All right, so Shantae, you are up.
Yes.
So what are you feeling?
Kicker.
Kicker. All right. So is there a certain team you like or a certain kicker that you like?
I have 2 that I'm looking at.
All right. I'm glad you didn't pick the Atlanta, because I would have felt weird doing the same joke that I did with Guyver about the young ho thing. So yeah.
I do like my hoes.
Which kicker are you looking at?
Justin Tucker and Jake Elliott.
Okay, so you've got the Baltimore and the Philadelphia kickers. Can't go wrong either way. Both high-scoring offenses. Good.
Look at that one.
All right, so Jake Elliott, kicker for Philly, goes to Shantae, and then Alvin Kamara goes to Human Torch Downs. And now we've got B-Rob. So B-Rob, what you thinking?
Flex is wide receiver, running back to tight end, right?
You got it.
Okay.
So there's quite a few wide receivers that are there ready for you. There's quite a few running backs there as well. So, all right, Najee Harris. So he takes the running back from Pittsburgh. So yeah, excellent choice there.
Great runner.
I didn't say, let's see. I meant to say on Josh Jacobs. So whoever got Josh Jacobs, he is a Tulsa, Oklahoma alum. He went to McLean High School. Yay, good for him. All right. So then Armed Rodgery takes Jalen Waddle, the wide receiver out of Miami. Mason takes his team's wide receiver, Rashee Rice, KC wide receiver. And then John's Supreme team takes Joe Burrow as a quarterback. All right. So now we're back to hit me with your Prescott. So Positively Frosty, what are you feeling with yours?
I have some favorites that I kind of want to wrap up before someone else does. I have a couple guys that I'd really love to get, but I just don't know that their system's solid enough to like trust it. You know, you got like, I love watching Cortland Sutton play.
Yeah.
But with one of 3 QBs, you never know what you're going to get.
Well, and I'll tell you, Bo Nix has looked surprisingly good in camp.
Yeah.
And as the number 1, he will get some passes. He's going to get some, and you probably won't make the guy with the Bronco logo in the background happy. But yeah, Cortland Sutton's a good choice. Who's the other one you're looking at?
I thought about shoring up my defense.
Okay. So yeah, I think both choices would be good choices.
But then
can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with those.
Oh, I'm gonna mix it up. Here we go.
All right. Okay. So neither one going for George Kittle, tight end, San Francisco. So showing up for tight end. Nice. So a Dallas person choosing a San Francisco team. It's almost like. Go ahead.
I think Kittle's one of the best tight ends in the league, if not.
He definitely is.
Top 3, maybe.
Yeah.
And then I got to get my boys' defense.
Then you got the Cowboys' defense. Nice. Well done.
Healthy Trayvon Diggs and a Deron Bland. That cornerback core is going to be nasty.
I do one league where we draft individual defensive players, IDP, and every season my first pick on defense is Micah Parsons, and he is not.
He's a monster.
Yeah, he's not done me wrong. All right, so then after you chose the Cowboys defense, then John's Supreme team takes Calvin Ridley, Tennessee wide receiver, and then 6th round, 3rd pick, we have Devonta Smith going to Hughes, wide receiver. And so now we're back to Armed Rodgery, who is actually picking, just not on the podcast. So B-Rob, you're going to be up next after this. So where are you looking with yours since Armed Rodgery can't hear us?
Wide receiver.
Okay. And she did take James Conner, Arizona running back. So you're actually wheels up. You're ready for whatever wide receiver you want there.
Yeah, so I mean, I like George Pickens. I
did well for last year.
Russ starting is probably going to get him some, and Deontay's not there anymore. Deontay Johnson in Carolina. I think Bryce Young's going to have a lot better year. I think the guy I'm going to pick, I have him. I've had him multiple years. He always does well. He just didn't get a lot of touchdowns last year. And the guy that I can't stand throws to him. So
apparently it's someone Baker's throwing to. Yeah. Chris Godwin. Oh man, that's exactly who I was looking at as well.
It's a great pull.
So I'm really happy that you're acknowledging Baker Mayfield's greatness as a quarterback. He did get robbed. Did get robbed as the comeback.
Absolutely.
But all right, so B-Rob takes Chris Godwin, wide receiver out of Tampa Bay, and then Human Torchdowns took Lamar Jackson, the quarterback out of Baltimore. And now Shante, you are up. All right. Oh, we got Zay Flowers, so we've got the person that Lamar Jackson is throwing to. All right, so wide receiver Baltimore is going to Ashante, and now we're back to Jethro. So Jethro, what are you feeling?
Well, I mean, we got a couple of the good defenses going already, so that's what I'm leaning towards.
Okay.
So strong pass rush. Niners is pretty good at it.
I was gonna say 49ers. Whenever I think of pass rush, I think of 49ers. So that's a good choice there. All right. So 49ers defense goes to Jethro, and it's back to me. All right. So I can go. I need a quarterback, I need a flex, defense, and a kicker. So
You should check free agency and see if anybody's worthwhile down there.
and right now I've got Brees Hall, running back, Travis Etienne, junior running back, T. Higgins, wide receiver, and Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver, and then Sam Laporta. So for my flex, I could really go any way with that. I might take Mark Andrews, so I get 2 of the top tight ends, and that way someone has to trade me for him. But I think, man, I was looking at George Pickens because he is now the number 1, especially since Ayuk wasn't traded to Pittsburgh. He's the number 1 there, and he's going to have Russell Wilson or Justin Fields thrown to him. But there's also Tank Dell, and I think Tank Dell is going to have a great season, but there's so many mouths to feed.
Well, and Justin Fields is going to throw in his general direction, but maybe not necessarily to him.
100% accurate, sir.
No, he's not. That's the problem.
Yeah. Oof, man, you are killing it right now. All right, I'm going to take George Pickens. It might be a little bit of a stretch, but I think being the number 1 on that, I think he's going to get some pretty good receptions. So, Chris, you are up. All right, you want to talk us through what you think or who you want?
I'm going to do another wide receiver. And I'm going to go, you guys were talking about, he was in my queue anyway, just because he was high up on the list. So I'm doing Tank Dell.
It's a great pick. You're not going to be sad about that, even though there's a couple of other really good wide receivers in Houston. You having the CJ Stroud as your quarterback, that link up is going to be really dynamite for you, I think. All right, so after your Tank Dell Houston wide receiver pick, Ben went with Mark Andrews, Baltimore tight end, Boomer. And then Deontay Johnson went to the Foxy Bunch, Carolina wide receiver. Trey McBride goes to the Foxy Bunch, tight end, Arizona. And
takes a boomer to know a boomer.
Do what?
Huh? So takes a boomer to know a boomer.
There you go. And then Anthony Richardson is off the board to Ben. Anthony Richardson is a very interesting pick, but because he could be one that gets you 0 after 3 weeks because he's hurt, or he could break the fantasy. All right, so DeAndre Swift is going to Jehovah's Thickness. That's Guyver. And so you got a starting running back there, and I am on the clock. Let's see.
Look at this one.
Man, I think I haven't. Do I have a Sooner yet? I don't have a Sooner yet. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take a Sooner. I'm going to take Ramondre Stevenson, running back out of New England. And Boomer, I've finally got a Sooner on my team. So yay.
And I'll be right back.
Trying to write these down.
I'll be right back. I
doing
gotta go to the bathroom, so keep going.
Okay.
All right.
Justin was going to keep going anyway.
Yes. All right. So Jethro, you are up. So what are you looking at for your team?
Hello, tight end. Let's get some tight end going.
All right. That is what Guyver likes more than anything in this world. So who are you looking at? We've got Mark Andrews off, Laporta off, Kelsey, McBride, and Kittle off the board. But I think you pretty much have your pick of the litter with the rest of them. And there's still a couple of really, really good ones up here for you to choose from.
I think TJ has a good connection with Kirk. So
okay. I think it's a good one. TJ Hawkinson. Just so you know, though, you probably want to draft another one as a bench player because he's going to be out for a few weeks here at the beginning of the so just let you know.
Kirk isn't in Minnesota anymore.
Yeah, Kirk's in Atlanta.
Son of a gun. Wait, yeah. Where have I been?
You've actually had a life, so
no, he hasn't. Don't.
It's understandable. All right, Shantae, you're up. So who are you looking at?
I have no idea yet.
All right. So who do you have so far on your team?
I have a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, tight end, defense, and a kicker.
All right. So You probably want another running back or another wide receiver.
I'm looking at running backs.
Okay. Any specific teams you like or any running backs you're looking at?
Mm.
Yeah, I found somebody. Wait, no, I don't.
All right. All right. So, Positively Frosty, how do you feel like your team's
That one
shaping up?
works.
So far, so good. I'm really liking it.
Oh, good. All right. So,
Who's that?
we've
Sean
got
Mostert.
so Shante took Raheem Mostert, running back out of Miami, and then Human Torchdowns took David Njoku, tight end out of Cleveland. All right, so B-Rob, you are up, sir. What are you feeling?
I was gonna go tight end because I really like two of the ones that are still there, but I don't know that either one of them are one gonna get picked and two are gonna produce like this guy is going to. Rookie quarterback, but I think Jaden Daniels is really going to need a reliable guy. So I'm going to go Terry McLaurin.
It's an excellent
Excellent
pick.
pick.
He sometimes falls down in the draft, but I think he's getting so overlooked because he's just solid every season, and he's had some awful quarterbacks, and he still produces. So yeah, great pick. Terry McLaurin, Washington wide receiver, goes to B-Rob. All right, so Armed Rodgery is up, and she is picking, and then after that will be Hughes, then Loki, and then Positively Frosty. You'll have two.
Yep.
So Positively Frosty, are you thinking where you want to go with your draft?
I have two players that I want to see on my team. And they're starting to get higher up on the list, which means these auto picks are going to start snatching them up. So I'm a
100%.
little more nervous about leaving them for later.
Smart.
Um,
And nobody on the podcast or is listening, so you can actually name them if you want. No one's going to steal them. But real quick, Armed Rodgery
That's
took
true.
Dalton Kincaid, Buffalo tight end, the one that B-Rob wanted. All right, and then Aaron Jones goes to Hughes, and then John's Supreme team takes the defense. I'm sorry, Kansas City defense.
mhm.
All right, and now we've got your two, Positively Frosty. So where are you feeling?
So I'm kind of, after the way they played last year, Jordan Love looks really good as a backup quarterback. And then I'm looking at tight ends still, just because I like having that that coverage. And Jake Ferguson, man, was putting up points last year. I had him last year in every game. I could put him in flex or in tight end and have no problem.
He is solid, definitely.
Yeah. So I think that's what I'm definitely going Ferguson with my first
Action.
choice.
All right, so Ferguson, tight end out of Dallas. All he does, especially if you watched the, and I know you did, Positively Frosty, if you watched the playoffs this last year with Dallas, like he was on fire. So hopefully he continues that momentum into the regular season this year. All right, so with your next pick after Ferguson, what are you thinking?
Yeah. I still think a backup quarterback is kind of important. I really like Jordan Love. I'm worried, now that he's like got a year under his belt, a lot of the defenses are going to kind of have him picked over and figured out.
Mhm.
And he just doesn't have enough like game time to really feel like he's just going to explode. But I'm looking at Matthew Stafford, man, who I think if he can stay healthy the whole season, and with Cup, Nakua, that's
Yeah.
tough. That's
Well,
a
and
tough line.
you have Nakua recognized or agreed by the experts as a top 10 wide receiver, and then Cup as a top 15 wide receiver. And I
Yeah.
think that's a little low for Cup. Well, who's throwing the ball? If they're getting all of these catches and all of these touchdowns, who's throwing the ball? So yeah,
Exactly.
Stafford would be a solid pick too.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Sweet. I don't think you're going to be mad about that. All right, so Stafford goes off to hit me with your Prescott. And then Harrison Bucker is now on John's Supreme team, the Kansas City kicker who can't keep his mouth shut. And we have now up is Mason. And Mason takes, Hughes takes Jordan Love. All right, so we were talking about Jordan Love there. Someone went ahead and pulled the trigger there.
Yeah.
Armed Rodri is up, and then B Rob, you're after that. So what are you looking at, B Rob, with yours?
I honestly don't know at the moment. There are some reaches for sure. I'm just not sold on taking a defense or a kicker yet, or a backup quarterback. I think I'm going to just start screwing around, but I'm going to take this handcuff now. So go Pokes.
Armed Rodri just took my boy.
Oh,
Damn
it's
it.
my turn. Crap.
I was about to select him, and she took-
Tyler.
yeah.
Yep.
I even have my Kyler jersey that I was going to showcase after I was just about to. Damn it!
I
I'm
had
gonna have-
Kyler on my queue too.
I'm gonna have to try to trade her. All right, so we've got
Good luck.
Jalen Warren, who is running back of Pittsburgh, going to B Rob, who is going to be a solid producer. He's just going to give you points. Zamir Wright, running back Las Vegas, goes Human Torch Downs, and now Shante is up. Shante.
I'm reading about the players, but I'm also in the middle of doing something. That's why I'm fully not talking.
I got you. Hey, no worries. We like it when you're not talking. Oh, just kidding.
Go eat wizard shit.
Okay.
Your house dog.
Still think that needs to be your team name next year.
Possibly.
All right, so Jethro, you are on deck, so be thinking about who you want, and then I'm after you, Jethro. All right, so Shantae, you're looking at a certain position?
Wide receiver.
Okay. Well, you've got several really good ones there for you to choose from.
Shoot.
I don't like how some of them. I'm reading their outlook.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do this one.
All right,
Yeah.
Amari Cooper. That's a
I
solid
don't-
choice. All he does is produce points, and he's a former Cowboy. So that's probably where positive Frosty.
Oh, I
Frosty.
mean, he's just he's just one of the greats at
Yeah.
the position. He's just fantastic.
Yeah.
His route running is ridiculous.
It's a
Dude,
good,
man-
it's a good pick. Yeah. All right, Jethro, you are up, sir.
Well, let's do that.
All
Let's
right,
go, Zeke.
we got Ezekiel Elliott back with Dallas, running back, and so he is only 72 years old, and they have cleared him to run with a walker. So it's going to be great to see that it's the new part of the new kickoff rules too. So yes, well done. All right. Oh, that's me. All right. So not happy because I was going to take Kyler Murray here, and I was having a good draft, and then Kyler Murray was taken before, and now I'm like on tilt. I'm going to take a quarterback because I'm just on tilt. The other quarterback that I'm really kind of interested in is still out there, so that's good news for me, but I probably am going to take another one way later in the draft as a backup. But I'm going to take Jaden Daniels. He's a rookie out of LSU, Heisman Trophy winner. He has the potential to run for 1,000 yards, and in fantasy, that's kind of a cheat code for quarterbacks. So I am drafting Jaden Daniels as my quarterback. And now we've got Jehovah's Thickness. Chris, you are up.
I'm
Idea?
gonna get a backup quarterback.
Okay. Who are you looking at? Baker Mayfield. Boomer. All right. So all of the OU quarterbacks are off the board with Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, and Kyler Murray. Boomer. And then, okay, so Christian Watson went to Ben, Green Bay wide receiver. Foxy Bunch took Christian Kirk, Jacksonville wide receiver. Keenan Allen also went to Foxy Bunch, a Chicago wide receiver. And then Ben took David Montgomery, who I was going to pick on my next time. So, jerk. And he's a running back for Detroit. And Jehovah's Thickness, you are back up, sir. All right, Evan Ingram, the Jacksonville tight end, very solid, especially late in last season, went in. So,
Of all the people that you draft, you actually take that one.
Is
that's
that good
the
or
one.
is that bad?
No, that's who I was going to take.
That's who B-Rob was going to take.
So out of all the just randomness that comes out of your mouth of these things, you pick that guy.
I'm going to take. And I'm going to take the other player that B-Rob wanted. Sorry, Javonte Williams is coming to my team. He's the running back for Denver, and I think he's going to be getting just peppered with screen passes and little throws here and there. For those that aren't familiar with fantasy football, basically every throw it equates to a running back equates to about two fantasy points, and we're not playing PPR points per reception, but even in a standard league that we're playing, if the more receptions a running back can get, just the better it is for him. So I'm going to take Javonte Williams, so that way I can have trade fodder with B-Rob.
B-Rob, right. You just got thicked.
I didn't trade him last year to B-Rob.
Yeah.
All right, so now we've got Jethro. You're back up, sir. And if you look, for those that are using the draft board, the ESPN draft board as we're drafting, if you look on the left side, you can see quarterback, running back, wide receiver, running back, all of that. The top from quarterback to defense, that is your starters. And so you probably want to fill in those starters first before you go into your BE, your bench players. But just draft your team how you want it. But yeah, just look at that. If you're like, I don't know who to pick, if you still have someone that's open, like a running back, let's say, that's you still need for your starter, I would probably look at running back, that type of thing. All right, so Jethro, where are you going with this?
Shit, I'm next.
Yep, Shante, you are on deck.
Well, I screwed the pooch with my tight end, so
yeah, there's still some quality tight ends out there, and whenever Hawkinson comes back, he's going to be all right. You took the cheat code there too. So Jethro takes Taysom Hill, who can be a tight end, he can be a quarterback, he can be a running back, he can be a wide receiver. And in this league, he's coded in as a tight end. So whatever he does on the field, it gives you points as a tight end. So it's kind of the cheat code there. All right, Shante, you're on the board. Who are you looking at?
Flex.
All right. And that can be a wide receiver, that could be a tight end, that could be a running back, just anyone that's not defense, kicker, or quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Crap, where's what I was looking at?
We have several good running backs and wide receivers still on the board. Starters, for sure. So really, it's where you want to go. And here soon is where you'll see people like B-Rob and myself take people that you probably never heard of. We're going to take shots at high risk, high reward type of players. All right. So you took Shante took JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Seattle wide receiver. And then Human Torchdowns took Brian Robinson Jr., running back out of Washington. So we've got B-Rob. Okay, B-Rob, this is so playing into your worst fears of people taking different positions that you weren't really ready for. So where's your head right now on where you're gonna?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I knew what I was gonna do, because like, oh, there's no way, the way people are drafting, that's not gonna happen. And then literally, Ingram, Javonte, Taysom, all gone. So I'm gonna go to a hated rival. It's between these two guys, whether it's Hollywood or it's X. And this, like you said, I'm gonna go for the reach. I'm gonna go for Xavier.
I think it's a good
because of
pick,
his
even
speed.
though
But with Hollywood being hurt right now, I think he's worthy stretches the field, so I'm gonna do that.
yeah, I think it's a solid choice. I'm not a fan of drafting Texas players, but sometimes you just got to do it, you know. But yeah, he set the record at the combine for the fastest 40 speed ever. And the person before that, B Rob, you know, was
Tyreek.
Tyreek Hill. And so Tyreek's been kind of good with the Chiefs and now with the Miami Dolphins. So picking up Worthy, I think it's smart. All right, so we got Armed Rodri up, and then after that's going to be Hughes, and then in 4 picks, I'm sorry, Positively Frosty, you're going to have 2. So be thinking about where you're going with it. Armed Rodri takes Jalen Reed, Green Bay wide receiver, and then Brock Bowers goes to Las Vegas tight end, goes to Hughes, and then John Supreme Team takes, and that's Loki. That's Dallas Goddard, Philadelphia tight end. So we've had definitely a run on tight ends, and not just the kind that Guyver chases around Club Majestic here in Tulsa. So, so yeah, the Positively Frosty, you've got 2 picks. So where do you still need on your team?
I still need another receiver, and I still need a kicker, but I don't. Kicker like is just you can get good kickers, but also like it's kind of a hit or miss position. You know, like I would never think that Aubrey's going to be that great a kicker because all he does is kick, point after, not
Mhm.
field goals. You know, same with like a guy like Butker who the Chiefs score, right? So all you're getting are the point afters. So you really want a weak team's kicker because they can only make it to the 40-yard line and then he has to kick it. But then you get a guy like Zerloin who can't kick a 20-yard field goal, let alone a 50. So I am for my first pick gonna go for Sutton. Just he's still on the board. I need the receiver, and
Solid
he's
choice.
he's so fun to
Very good
watch
choice.
too.
He's number 1.
Yeah, and honestly, you could put him to your starting lineup and just get points, just points. So yeah, he's a good choice, especially in the 9th round, or what are we at, 10th round, almost 11th round to get him there. You're gonna really like that.
Yeah, and then my other pick, I was also looking at running backs. Singletary's still on the board, which is kind of impressive, but at the same time, like New York is just kind of in shambles right now, I feel, and so
Mhm.
it's hard to feel confident in anybody from New York. Austin Eckler's there. I don't think I knew that he moved to Washington. So
Yep.
that's an interesting with
Yeah.
a rookie quarterback, that might be a really good pull too.
Yeah, and he's going to be getting a lot of the throws, like third downs and things like that.
The
And
screens.
for a
Check
rookie
downs.
quarterback, that check down is really important. So it's almost printing fantasy points doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing.
All right, so Austin Eckler and Cortland Sutton goes to hit me with your Prescott. Jordan Addison goes to wide receiver. Minnesota goes to Loki's team, and now we've got Hughes up. B Rob, you're in 2 picks, and then Shante, you're in 4. All right. Caleb Williams goes to, and that's who I was actually going to take. Yeah, Hughes, thank you for that. So Caleb Williams, former Sooner Boomer, goes to Mason for Chicago, quarterback. All
Hey,
right.
Rob, you should choose Joe Hedry next.
I
No,
believe.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
fully
he
pay
just-
attention again because I got the thing done that I was doing. It's in the Discord.
Ah, okay, very nice. All right, so now B Rob, you're up after this. So where are you going to go with it since Arm Rodri can't hear you?
You're up.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna do.
Okay, and she is very well versed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Lydia is very, very well versed.
yeah. Roma Dunze goes Chicago wide receiver rookie goes to Armed Rodri. Great pick and was what B-Rob wanted. So this
absolutely.
is B-Rob's worst draft nightmare. All right, so you've got quite a few options out here for you, B-Rob.
I know. I'm gonna go defense. Because I just think anything that's left right now, I think the better defense is going to score the points, especially with this one special teams. So I'm gonna go Baltimore.
It's a good pick. They're ranked at the very top, if not one or two on every list. Human Torches takes Devin Singletary, New York Giant running back. Shante, you are on, and then Jethro, you're up next, and then I'm after you. So Shante, is there a certain area you're wanting to fill?
Looking at it, I need another tight end because my tight end and one of my running backs are on the bye the same exact time.
Okay. And that's a really important aspect that we haven't really brought up. So what Shante is talking about is NFL teams have buys. They'll have a week somewhere in their 17 game season where they take the week off rest. And so you get 0 points that week for your players. So if you have a bunch of people that have the week 10, let's say, bye, then you're probably going to lose that week if you have a lot of players. But if you spread it out, it's tends to help out a whole lot more. All right, so Shante takes Cole Kmet, the tight end out of Chicago, and now we've got Jethro. So Jethro, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm kind of at a loss right now.
Is there a certain need that you need on your roster that's still, as far as the starters?
I mean, starters, I'm filled up.
Okay, good. So yeah, now it's just finding who will be good for you.
Finding somebody who I recognize.
No.
So let's go. Well, I got 2 running backs, so I'm pretty good right there. So let's look at wide receivers. So and DeAndre Hopkins, he's questionable. And I got 48 seconds. So I mean, Cooks, he's kind of no. Let's go with Bateman. No, they got the same buy, don't they? So
and really, the buy isn't as important because you're going to have them for the entire season, and you can always pick someone off waivers or something like that. So if there's someone you really want, I would say take him, even if he does have the same buy as somebody else on your team, because you're going to use him more than not. But totally up to you. But it's about to auto pick for you.
It's probably a better pick than me.
So you got Tua Tagliafoa, the Miami QB.
And can you say that again one more time?
Tua Tagliafoa.
Thank you.
But if you will, just for a side note, it's going to auto pick for you the rest of the time. So at the top left of your app, where you see auto pick, make sure you click that to where it's not green, because I don't want to do that for you. No worries. All right, so I am up. Man, there are some dynamite players still on the board. But I think B-Rob talked me into picking a defense and kicker and all of that, because there are still some pretty good ones out there. So I am going to choose Justin Tucker, the Baltimore kicker. And
Texas, go Horns.
Well, I'll throw up a little bit in my mouth every time he scores a field goal, but that's okay. And so now Jehovah's Thickness, Guyver, you are on the clock. So do you have all your
everything but
starters?
Defense?
Okay.
So I'm gonna do defense.
Okay. And you've got any of them that you're looking at?
The Jets right now.
Okay.
in between
There's
the Jets
also
and
you
Oh,
might
go
think
ahead.
about Dolphins. They've got with the new return rules, the Dolphins are pretty solid and they're going to have all that speed.
we'll go with Dolphins
Okay.
because Ace Ventura said,
Mhm.
you
The
know,
Dolphins.
yeah, the Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
Be the
Well,
Dolphin.
Let's see. Okay, real quick. Tajay Spears, a running back for Tennessee, goes to Ben and Experiment 626. Keon Coleman, Buffalo wide receiver, goes to Foxy Bunch. And then Brian Thomas Jr. goes to, I'm sorry, Lad McConkey, LA Chargers wide receiver, goes to Foxy Bunch. And then Brian Thomas Jr., which is a really good pick, for the 11th round, goes to Ben Experiment 626. Okay, so what are you thinking, Guyver?
I'm gonna get a. Well, I'm in the backups now. I'm gonna do a backup running back, and I'm gonna do. Really not much. I'll do Chase Brown.
Good choice. Good choice.
You would Chase Brown.
I
Chase
would.
Brown. So
With
Chase
his tight
Brown
end.
and Zach Moss, they're going to be sharing the role in Cincinnati, but a lot of experts think that Chase Brown's going to be taking over that role by the first month. So that's a good pick. All right, I am going to make a pick that makes me throw up a little bit in my mouth, but I think the last part of the season he's going to be a league winner. Jonathan Brooks is a running back out of Carolina that is from Texas. Oh, gross. But and he's also hurt, and he's not going to play for the first at least month of the season, which means he's going to have to get back into the groove. But second season, I think he's going to be a stud. So I'm going to take Jonathan Brooks, Carolina running back. All right, and Jethro, you are up, sir. So now we're probably into like backups. And so there's a lot of really good running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers that are there, tight ends as well. So are there any names that you see that you like?
I mean, I want to go with old Aaron Rodgers, but you know he's like 80 now, so
Hey, he's still
He's
gonna throw.
79.
He's still gonna throw a lot. He's not
Well,
awful.
we
Yeah.
thought that last season too, and he had 4 snaps and then a 5th.
As long as he can stay off the Hiawassee, man, he'll be all right. So,
but yeah, looking at wide receivers,
Okay.
Gabe is looking all right.
yeah, we got on the list here for ESPN, and of course everyone has their own lists and such. But we have Marquise Brown, who was a Sooner boomer. That's for you, Shante and Rob. You also have Tyler Lockett, who was from Tulsa, went to K-State. So yay, we got some local ties just right there. There. So, but yeah, there's a ton of quality people there.
I mean, Shaheed, I like Shaheed in New Orleans, but you know he's questionable. So
That is a really good choice if that's where you're going.
I mean, hopefully mid-season he'll be
Man,
going.
That's a really good choice, brother. Well done. All right,
I mean,
DeAndre Hopkins.
New Orleans is my second pick team when the Cowboys
Okay.
lose. So
Okay, I was gonna say a lot of times the unless you know the team, you might not know someone like Rashid Shaheed because he's not as popular. But yeah, great pick. And then Kirk Cousins goes to Shante, Atlanta quarterback, and then DeAndre Hopkins goes to the Human Torchdowns. So B-Rob, what are you thinking? Your pick 11.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a guy who I think had last year after an injury. Did real well. He's going to be starting again because of this injury. So I'm going to go with Jerome Ford from Cleveland.
Okay. Nice. Jerome Ford and Nick Chubb is the starter typically, but he got hurt last year. If you saw that game, it was gross. And so he's going to be coming back, but he's not back right now. And honestly, because he tore his ACL, MCL so many times in college, and there's no guarantee that Nick Chubb will actually be back. So Jerome Ford is a good choice.
That happens with a Chubb sometime.
Yeah, and you are Team Chubb, that's for sure. So Armed Rodgery takes Zach Moss, the other Cincinnati running back. Mason, or I'm sorry, Hughes is up, and then in two picks, it's going to be positively frosty, and you're going to have two picks positively frosty. So be thinking about what you want. All right, so we're in at the end of round 11, about to go into round 12. There's 16 total. How's everyone feeling about their team so far?
Good.
All right.
You got a quarter?
I'm feeling pretty good about my team. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, great.
Good
So,
job. Good
Guys,
job.
like, I don't even know if I have a team.
Hold
but
on, I'm in the middle of something.
Uh-oh, she's in the middle of something.
Oh my.
I'm okay. I think it'd be cool if we had a T-shirt for this season of fantasy football.
Okay. I'm not against that.
Yeah.
We'll
In the
talk
Discord.
after the draft.
Yeah, we'll talk after the draft.
I
Need a
like
big
that.
one.
All right, so Hughes took Darnell Mooney, Atlanta wide receiver. And then, John Supreme Team took Jacoby Myers, Las Vegas wide receiver. So positively frosty, you have two shots. So what are you looking for your
And
team?
yes, I feel comfortable with my team.
Good. What are you looking for positively frosty?
I'm mostly just trying to fill out what I think would be good backups. I'd like another running back. I'd also like another receiver. Still need a kicker, but I'm not gonna lose sleep over kickers.
Yeah, a lot of and what positively frosty is talking about, for those aren't necessarily familiar, a lot of people like to wait to the very last two picks to pick defense and kicker because the best kicker in the league at the end of the season is usually just about like 3 points a game lower than the worst kicker in the league. Well, maybe a little bit more than that. But there's not a huge difference. As in defense, it might be a little different because defense, special teams, with the new kickoff rules, it's kind of Wild West right now with fantasy and trying to figure that out.
Mhm.
But with your first pick, you go with Gus Edwards, so the starting running back for what's going to be a run heavy team. So it's a good choice for the last pick of the 11th round. And then for your first pick of the 12th round, where are you going?
I was kind of looking at Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
My only problem with Jeudy is that I just don't like Deshaun Watson as a quarterback, and I don't know that he's going to get enough targets to really use the skills he actually has.
Makes 100% sense.
No, it doesn't. Don't make him feel good about himself.
Oh, he could be quiet. I'd still feel good about myself.
I like to make positively frosty feel good. Yeah. Right.
I mean, all he's got to do is look at everybody else's teams. He should feel pretty good. He's drafted a pretty solid team.
I took the Guyver role there and made it awkward. So
it wasn't awkward. I winked. I was
you're
ready.
welcome. Oh, well, yeah, awesome. All right. So you got 46 seconds left on yours with your hit me with your Prescott team.
I'm also I'm seeing Jaleel McLaughlin down here. I'm seeing Rico Dowdle.
Jaleel McLaughlin and Rico Dowdle, both very good picks.
Decent backups.
Yeah.
Khalil Herbert's down here too. I didn't even realize he was still.
Yeah, and he's technically the starter at Chicago, but Devontae, or not Devontae, I'm sorry, Swift, DeAndre Swift is going to be really eating into his.
Yeah.
And Rashawn Johnson, the gross Texas running back.
6 seconds. Oh, there you go.
All right, yeah. Jamil McLaughlin is a great pick. It's a great pick where you were.
I think with the unsure quarterback situation, they're going to be relying on them backs a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And then Marquise Brown, Boomer, goes to John's Supreme Team, Kansas City wide receiver. Mason, I already he was on this. He took J.K. Dobbins. I told him before the draft I was going to go for J.K. Dobbins in the 12th or 13th round, and so of course he has to snake me. That's okay.
He is on auto pick though, isn't he?
I'm not. No, he's doing it.
Oh, is he? Maybe you shouldn't tell him what you're doing beforehand.
Yeah, but it's like my backup to the backup of the backup, so I'm not like really butthurt.
You're not sweating it.
I'm more mad at Lydia Tiffert of taking Kyler Murray from me. All right, so Armed Rodri does take Jerry Jeudy. That's one of those that I always leave on the draft board and let someone else worry about him. I've drafted him so many times when he was at his former place that it was not good. So we'll see how it goes in Cleveland. All right, B-Rob, you're up, brother. What are you looking for?
Oh, I think I'm just going to draft this guy out of pure spite because every time I draft him, he gets hurt and I can't stand him. So we'll go with Rages.
All right, Aaron Rodgers. He could be.
He could be great.
Could be great.
He's got the weapons.
He really does. And then Mike Williams. Speaking of weapons, Mike Williams, New York Jets wide receiver who came over from San Diego, or sorry, LA, is taken next by the Human Torch Downs. Shante, you're up.
Yep.
You know where you want to go with it? Oh, we got Dicker the Kicker going to Shante.
I had to pick him because his name's funny.
Yeah, no, it's a good. He's a good kicker. He's a really good kicker. So, and again with that new running scheme in LA, it's probably going to be a lot of kicks. All right, so we've got Luke Schoonmaker, the Dallas tight end, that's going to Jethro. So you're shoring up all your boys there. I still don't have a defense, so I think I'm going to take a defense. I'm going to draft. Well, since I shouldn't talk because I was looking at Miami as my defense and Guyver took him, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Jets in its place. So that will be my defense.
Yeah, stop giving up your team.
Jehovah's Thickness. Oh, that's interesting. We have a panda now in Shantae's place. All right, so Guyver, where you want to go? Oof, that is such a good pick, Guyver.
Wide receiver.
Jameson Williams, the wide receiver out of Detroit, goes to Guyver. Tyler Lockett, who has some Tulsa ties, goes to Experiment 626, and that's Ben. Foxy Bunch takes Nick Chubb and Chuba Hubbard. I was really hoping Chuba Hubbard was going to stick around for me, but no. And then after that, we had Ty Chandler. During it, people are taking the picks on one. Why are these people picking so well? And then Pat Fryermuth, the Pittsburgh tight end, goes to Guyver, and which is also a solid pick, sir. All right, so I have a minute 30. I'm looking at different wide receivers and running backs as my backups. I'm going to reach here. I know this probably isn't. Should I reach? Yeah, I'm going to reach. Screw it.
Do it.
I'm going to go with Joshua Palmer. He's a wide receiver for the LA Chargers. He's going to be Herbert's number one, I think, even though Ladd McConkey is there. But I think Joshua Palmer is going to be better. It's either him or Khalil Shakir. You know what? You know what? I'm going to go with Khalil Shakir. He's the Buffalo wide receiver. And I think he's paired with the best, or what some people think is the best quarterback. You know what? I'm going to do Shaquille. Yeah. So I'm going Khalil Shakir, Buffalo wide receiver. And now we're back to Jethro.
Yeah. Let's go with Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis, can't go wrong. And he's now with Jacksonville, but he is going to be a key part for Trevor Lawrence there.
Agreed.
All right. Shante, you are up.
I want another defense. That one. We'll do this instead.
All right. So Blake Corum, that's a really good choice, actually. A lot of people are thinking that Blake Corum has a shot because he's the backup to Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams does not stay healthy. And so that's a really good choice. All right. And then Justin Herbert goes to the Human Torch Downs. So he's the quarterback we were just talking about. Well, actually, no, not my quarterback, the quarterback for Joshua Palmer. And now B-Rob is up. So B-Rob, where are you going with it?
Got to go tight end. He's there. I have him on every single team. So I might as well draft him. I think he's a good check down and a good safety valve for CJ Stroud. So
Cool.
So Schultz is still on the board, and it's wild to me.
Yeah, Dalton Schultz, the Houston tight end. You can't go wrong. That offense is going to be dynamite, and so part of that's going to be the tight end and getting them there. Cool. All right, so Armed Rodgery's up. Then we got Hughes. Positively Frosty, you're in 4 picks, and then you got 2 picks back to back. So think about what you want. All right, Armed Rodgery is drafting a pretty solid team, but at this point, we're all pretty much grabbing our backups. We've got 3, or at least I have 3 more picks, and so the rest of this. So we've got round 13. So yeah, we're almost done with that. So while we're waiting, so Guyver, how's your 4th year experience of drafting? Is it getting easier? Is it making more sense?
It's making more sense. And I'm
It's-
not picking all kickers.
You know what?
That helps.
You know what? It is a bold strategy, Cotton, but
F and A, Cotton, F and A.
All right, Armed Rodgery knows what she's doing. She took Jalen Polk, wide receiver out of New England. That's not someone that's on a lot of boards, but could be dynamite because there's really no wide receivers in New England, so it's kind of a toss-up to see who's there.
For those who don't know, that's our friend Lydia, who
Mhm.
was Steven's co-host on their podcast. And Lydia is solid when it comes to this
Man.
stuff.
She's in the playoffs every year.
Yeah, Lydia's very, very dangerous.
Oh yeah. And then Hughes took the Steelers defense, and then John Supreme Team took Zach Charbonnet. And now we've got Hit Me With Your Prescott. Positively Frosty has 2 picks.
I'm so damn proud of that name.
I mean, I almost accused you of stealing that from somebody. It's so freaking funny, but I would never do that.
Oh,
All right, so are you looking for a backup? Or are you looking? Well, I guess they're all backups at this point, but a certain position.
yeah, I want to get a backup defense. I'm also just trying to round out like the receiver core just a little bit more. Can't go wrong.
Huh?
There's a name that's kind of standing out to me that I know his production's probably not going to be great, but at the same time, like he's the only receiver in that system that's worth anything, I feel. So I'm kind of like looking at him, and then actually that's what we're going to do. We're going to pull it.
Right. So Adam Thielen, Carolina wide receiver.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He sucks.
he was so he surprised a lot of people last season through the first, it was like 7 weeks. He was wide receiver, I think 4 or 5. I mean, it was stupid how much he was getting. And it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier. He had a rookie quarterback. There was lots of dump offs, lots of small throws, and it made total sense. All right. So then you chose a Philadelphia Eagle. Man, you call yourself a Cowboys fan. What is that?
A
All right,
real
so,
fan will respect the ability of the other team.
Hey, it's smart. All right, so Eagles DST goes to Positively Frosty, and then John Supreme Team takes Tyler Algier, the Atlanta running back. We've got we've got Hughes, then Armed Rodgery, and then B-Rob. You've got you in 3 picks. So is there anybody, B-Rob, you're looking at that might surprise people that's not necessarily a big name or something that's left? Because now we're getting into the kind of throw it out there and high risk, high reward type of.
Yeah, I
Mary.
think there's probably one. It's going to be several picks away though, so I'm not going to throw him out there just yet. But I don't think he'll make it back to me. But I'm gonna go ahead and probably take my kicker this time.
Okay.
I mean, after that, it's just kind of, it's just whatever.
Dart
I mean,
throws for sure.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, most people don't take backup kickers, backup defenses, especially in leagues where you don't have to pay to pick up.
Yeah.
Because then you're just dropping people. But if you can get somebody with good value that you don't have to worry about adding and dropping, and you can get a consistent 6 to 8 points, then it's the way to do it.
100%. All right, so Curtis Samuel, wide receiver for Buffalo, who came over from Washington and a couple other places, Carolina, goes to Hughes, and Armed Rodgery is up, and then B Rob is after that. So the kickers, is there a certain team you think like Houston or Cincinnati, San Francisco? Or are you looking at like when you B Rob, when you look at kickers, do you look at the actual person kicking or do you look at the team and the scheme?
I always look at the team because for me, it's how many opportunities are they going to get? Because everybody stalls. I mean, you may get to the 10-yard line and can't get it in, but then you want the guy with the leg too. But I generally, even if people are just rocking out extra points, those are consistent.
Yeah.
But this guy that I'm fixing to pick, I've had him on a couple different teams. Their offense is so dynamic with Ayuk and Debo, CMC, Greg Kittle. I mean, there's so many dudes that can score. And Brock Purdy, I think, is only going to continue to improve and not turn the ball over, which is key. Which is why I'm wearing my Tim Tebow jersey right now. So, but I'm going to take Moody.
That's a great choice, and that's the kicker for San Francisco. And then before that, Adelaide Mitchell, wide receiver rookie out of Indianapolis, Armed Rodgery took, and she's drafting a solid team, man. Human Torchdowns took Demario Douglas, New England wide receiver, and now we've got Shantae. You are on the board.
Yeah.
So are you looking at for a specific position?
No, I'm just filling my bench.
Okay.
Trying to pick people who are on different buys.
Okay. I love the strategy. There's no wrong way.
I think I'm gonna go with all of them. I don't care.
All right. And Shantae takes the Panthers DST. And the DST, for those that aren't sure, D stands for defense, ST stands for special teams. So if somebody runs back a punt for a touchdown, you get points. If the defense gets a fumble, you get points. And so having a couple of defenses there makes sense so you can try to, whoever has the hot hand. All right. So Jethro, you've got a couple more picks, but where are you going this route?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go with the with another leg for the kicker, and Jets don't get into the end zone too much, so
might change with Aaron Rodgers though.
Well, and
yeah, he's gonna get hurt again. I mean, his Metamucil is gonna run out, and hopefully.
Since my first pick was the running back for Jets, I hope you're wrong, but I don't think you are. I don't think you are. All right. Luckily, Joshua Palmer, wide receiver for the LA Chargers, fell back to me, so I am taking him with my pick. And so that gives me a couple of running backs and a couple of wide receivers on my bench. I'm kind of happy so far with that. All right, Guyver, you are up, sir.
Let's do.
Excuse me.
I'm going to do another wide receiver backup.
Are you sure?
No, but I did it anyway.
Hey,
yeah, you're a bitch.
So, Michael Wilson, Arizona wide receiver, and really, other than Trey McBride, the tight end, and Harrison Jr., really, honestly, there's not a lot out there as far as wide receivers. So, Michael Wilson's a good choice because he's going to get some balls thrown to him,
especially with Kyler being back.
Yeah, definitely with Kyler being back, and I'm going to get Kyler back on my team from Lydia. All right, Deshaun Watson goes to Experiment 626. That's Ben, and then Foxy Bunch takes Saints DST, and then they also take Trevor Lawrence as their backup, and then for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Jacksonville DST goes to Ben, and then I always have a hard time with this for Chris's kicker. Kahimi Fairbairn, who is the Houston kicker. I'm sorry that had such a rural Oklahoma accent, so sorry about that. All right, I am going to choose a backup quarterback because I'm not 100% happy with, or I'm not happy. I love Jalen Daniels and I think he's going to do well, but I need a veteran to back him up just in case. Jared Goff has been solid and he has all but I think 1 or 2 games indoors this season. And so I'm going to take Jared Goff as my backup. So that way, if the rookie has a hard time at the first of the season, I can put a solid person in there to get me at least points. All right. So now Jethro, you are up, and then Shante, you are after, and then B Rob, you are 4 picks from now.
Mhm.
All right. So Jethro, anyone? Are you at this point? Are you just looking for favorite team players? Are you looking for to fill positions?
Oh, just fillers, just fillers. Let's give the Niners defense a little help, and let's go with the Bears. The Bears.
Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
All right.
Bears,
So
the Bears, the
Jethro
Bears, the-
takes the Bears defense and special teams. All right. So Shante, you're on the clock.
Yeah, I was looking for something.
Is there a certain player, certain team you're looking for, or a certain position?
There is a kid I went to school with that got drafted into I think the Seahawks, but I don't know right
Okay.
now. Off my head, I was gonna look on Facebook.
Yeah, I could. Do you know his name? I could probably maybe tell you.
His last name's Greenfield. That's all I remember.
There's nobody in the ESPN tracker for Greenfield.
Agree.
No.
Yeah, and it may be that he's like a lineman. He plays defense or something that isn't on
Yeah,
here.
more than likely.
So that's probably what it is. Especially if he's from Iowa, he's probably a big beefy dude that plays on the
Yes,
line.
he is.
So there you go. But yeah, you've got on the ESPN list, it's a bunch of quarterbacks. So if you don't have a backup quarterback,
I do.
okay, I was gonna say might be a good one, but then you also have some pretty good wide receivers. Okay, there you go. And
He is a
Xavier
beefy
Leggett,
dude.
that was a very good choice for the wide receivers that are still up. So Xavier Leggett, Carolina wide receiver, goes to Shante, and then Human Torchdowns takes Bengals DST, and B Rob, to you, brother. So what are you
This
looking
is
at?
the guy that is still there that I was hoping would be the guy that's ahead of him right now. Is consistently hurt, so I'm going to go with Trey Benson.
All right, that's was who I was looking at the next go around too. So Trey Benson, running back for Arizona. James Conner is the starter, but Trey Benson is the rookie that is going to just light things up. So I think he's going to get a lot of playing time, whether Connors gets hurt or not. All right, Arm Rodgery takes the Lions DST, and we've got Mason or Hughes. Sorry, I keep doing that. And then Positively Frosty, you've got 2 picks here in 2 picks, and these are your last 2 picks. So who are you wanting to end with? Are you looking at running backs? Are you looking at wide receivers?
Well, I still need a kicker.
Okay.
So, and then I've got someone in mind, but I'm still trying to decide if I want to go that route. Let's go ahead and get this kicker though. Also, it's
Right.
Garrett Greenfield.
Yes.
Yeah, he's 6'7", 330 pounds. That boy's big.
Uh-huh.
That ain't
Wow.
a skill position.
Yeah, that's not a
Uh,
skill position.
He's
That's,
O-line. He's O-line.
yeah, that's
I went to school. He's Seahawks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, no one take my Seahawks.
yeah.
'Cause I went to school with that entire family.
Oh, that's cool.
He yeah, I don't know how Geno Smith is going to be able to see over that guy though.
He ain't.
All right,
right, so-
so the Evan McPherson was taken by Mason, the Cincinnati kicker. Texans, John Supreme team took the Texans DST, and then Positively Frosty took Will Lutz, the kicker, Denver kicker. There we go. With his second to last pick.
I hate it because it's a logical choice because to be clear, Denver's my second team, right?
Ah.
So that's my dream Super Bowl is a Cowboys Denver Super Bowl, which is why it's a dream. It'll never happen again.
You are a masochist, sir. choosing those 2 teams. Woof.
But yeah, I definitely I don't want to say it, but I feel like Lutz is going to get a lot of work this season.
Yeah.
Denver kickers always do.
Yeah.
And also being mile high, man, that ball
Yeah,
soars.
fly 60 yards.
Yeah. I'm hoping I can when I start my new job get down to Denver for a game.
And just for listeners, with the way the kickers work, anything that's like 30 yards and closer, that's 3 points. But I have it set up to where if it's 40 yards, 40 to 49, you get 4 points. If it's 50 to 59, you get 5 points. If it's 60 to 69, you get 6 points. 6 points for a field goal can make the difference in losing and winning a certain week, especially if you get multiple. So it's a good pick. All right, so you got 30 seconds positively frosty for your last pick, and then B Rob, you're in 4, and then Shante, you have your last pick here in about 5 picks, and then Jethro, you're after that.
I think I'm gonna go, with the Cowboys trading off Gallup. I'm looking at Brandon Cooks.
Good choice. All right, so Brandon Cooks goes to hit me with your Prescott, Dallas wide receiver. Carson Wentz, backup KC QB, goes to John's Supreme team. And then Hughes is up, then Armed Rodgery, and then B Rob. All right, so B Rob, they can't hear us. This is your last pick. Where you want to go with it?
I was gonna go Tyler Conklin, but of course
Okay.
good God, that guy, I swear.
Yeah, I think
Every time.
he's in your head.
Yeah, every year, man, he gets a couple. So the next thing I had queued up was another defense, but I'm gonna go ahead and look and see if there's anybody at tight end that's worth a dang.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's still a couple dart throws out there.
I know, but it's just one of those things that I can drop. I mean, I've Hurts, his bye is week 5. By the time the Ravens roll around, I don't know. You can always drop people.
And I think Juwan Johnson is a sleeper at the tight end.
Noah Fant, I always feel like is always, you never know. But
Isaiah Likely down there, who if Andrews gets hurt again like last year, Isaiah Likely went from obscurity to a top 5 tight end, and is still going to be active in there. So you still have some pretty good choices.
This is going to be a reach, but I'm going to draft him because he's a hog, and I like Arkansas. So let's go Hunter Henry.
All right, woo pig suey. All right, so are you cheering for the Hogs this weekend?
I am not.
Okay.
The person standing right next to me will be.
Oh yeah, I will be as well. So this weekend, Oklahoma State is hosting Arkansas Razorbacks in football, and so B Rob is a huge OSU Cowboy fan, but I will also be there. And
season ticket holder.
Be a lot of people. All right, so Hunter Henry goes tight end. New England goes to B Rob. Jake Bates, the kicker for Detroit, goes to Human Torchdowns. And then Shante, sorry, we didn't ask you about that. You chose the Seahawks DST, but you kind of already told us that.
We already explained this.
Yeah, you got your friend. That's awesome. All right, Jethro, last pick. Where are you going with it?
I mean, it's gonna be a Cowboy because I mean that's the one I watch. Right?
Should have been a Cowboy.
So Deuce Vaughn or Dowdle is one.
Rico Dowdle.
I picked up Dowdle halfway through last season and absolutely loved having him in flex.
And since he's actually half the age of both Zeke and what's his face just got signed.
Did they actually sign him?
Yeah, Cook was just signed. Dalvin Cook was just signed, but he has more juice than both of them. Rico Dowdle has more juice than both of them. So that would be a solid pick. And if one of them doesn't take their Metamucil in the morning, he can step right in.
Well, then they really will have more juice.
Yeah. And the thing is, these guys I'm calling old are like 15 years younger than me, so I feel kind of crappy about that. But what can you do?
Well,
all right,
you are old compared to me. Remember,
have some Metamucil and you won't feel old.
Or
crappy.
I think it may force me to feel old. All right, with my last choice, I think I'm going to go with, there's one last starting running back that I see. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Khalil Herbert, who is technically the starting running back for Chicago, but there's also other things going on there. I think that's who I want again. Kind of looking at Jordan Mason too, just in case CMC goes down. But
How dare you even say that?
I know. Hey, I drafted him in a league, so
Like, I'm a clear Cowboys fan, but CMC is just special to watch, man.
Yeah. I think he's one of the closest things you'll see to a Barry Sanders like player that is just the way he cuts. I mean, he just
100%.
disappears.
Yeah.
100%. Dude is electric. All right, I'm going to take Khalil Herbert because he looks like the best person left on the board. All right, so Chris, you have your last choice or last pick.
I'm going to go backup defense.
Okay.
Remember earlier when I said that I had running back issues last year?
Mm-hmm.
Khalil Herbert was one of my starters.
All right. Hey, there you go. All right. So congratulations to everyone on the podcast and everyone in the league. We are finished. And I think we have some pretty dynamite teams. The rankings changed a little bit as far as the divisions. And so you might go in and check. But I think the divisions, and I randomly put that in just like the draft order. I randomly put that in. I think we have some really interesting pairings with that. So in one league, it's going to be Brob and Hughes fighting it out. Or I'm sorry, league in one division. In another one, it's going to be Lydia or positively or what's her Rodgery, whatever her name is. Armed Rodgery, there we go, with Ben and a few others who did really well. And then the other is going to be me and Guyver and my
Dante.
kiddo. And so it's going to be a really interesting, I think, how it lines up. So, all right. So last thoughts, everyone go through, take a second, think about it. We'll start with Guyver, then go to Jethro, but last thoughts about your team and just the overall draft this year.
So last thoughts about my team. I think I've got a solid random smattering of people. I've accomplished my goal. I feel good that I have upset Brob on a couple of these. I did text T on, he got upset with me over this and told him the name, and she said hashtag secret She-Hulk fan. And I believe it was just all in caps good when I said he got a little upset. But this is always a good time. We know I don't know what the hell I'm doing. This isn't my thing, but I love doing it with everyone, with the community. And I appreciate you guys. Shut up. I do appreciate you all
praising
being part of this. You all are what makes the EGTN community. And this is it's just a lot of fun to do with everyone. So again, you guys thank you for doing this. And Justin, thank you for hosting this as usual and running this. But yeah, it's good. I think that everyone seems to have a good time with this. And I do enjoy seeing the smack talking that goes on throughout the season, especially with Dr. Justin, Brob, and Hughes just really going at it. And then Frosty had some good ones last year too. He had some really good zingers in it.
Don't forget Shante.
Oh no, Shante is just random fuck yous going through.
Yes,
Well, and
I am.
apparently I should ingest some lizard feces or
Yep,
something.
yep.
So
no, it's good time. This is always just a lot of fun. I'm starting to, get a better feel of it. It only took 4 years. And my goal is to win 2 games this year.
Nope, not allowed.
I am going for 2. That's every year I'm aiming to do a little better.
Okay. And you actually had a pretty competitive team last year, but injuries kind of hurt you towards the middle of the season.
A little bit.
Yeah, that's where it hurt you. All right, so Jethro, what do you think about your team and the draft?
Well, I mean, this is my first time ever getting into fantasy football, so appreciate y'all. Thank you, Shantae, for twisting the arms and thank y'all for letting me come in and try this out. But I mean, it's kind of hard not to go Cowboy heavy. I mean, that's the team that I watch and cry to in the privacy of my own home.
And they were the #1 offense last year, so it's not a bad strategy.
I mean, by the numbers, Cowboys are good, but at the end, not so much. So, but yeah, I look forward to it, and it's going to be interesting. And appreciate y'all let me get in and deal with my BS.
Heck yeah, we love it. Brob, what do you think about the draft and your team, and how do you think it went?
I think it's cool. This is a unique one, not only because, like I said, the way that people draft and you just there's no planning for it. You just can't. So that's what I like about it. But just the way you redid like the roster format, I think it's really cool. I mean, I would have never gone this running back heavy ever. So it's just a cool strategy to be able to think about. And so yeah, I think it's going to be a good season, and I think I think it's going to be fun for everybody.
How many leagues are you in, B-Rob?
This is 3 because I've cut in. It just becomes too much to manage. You end up with the same team 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, and you also get to a point to where you're like, okay, playing CMC in 3 leagues, but I have him in 2, so I need him to score 1 touchdown, but not any more yard. It gets so confusing in your head.
Right. So I have a fraternity league that we've been doing this for a long time. Kind of like Justin said, we've been doing it for a minute, and then we have a couples league that we're in, and then this one. So I mean, they're all good groups, all a lot of fun, a lot of trash talk. So,
all right, Shante. So how do you think it went?
Pretty good.
Good. So
I like my team.
Is it getting easier for you now in your 4th year and kind of getting the feel of it?
3rd year.
Or third? Oh, that's right, 3rd year.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Very good. Yeah.
I would like to say Shante has really taken to this and done great at this league. She's done great.
There were last draft or last year in this draft, there were several times it was like, dang it, you just took the person I was going to take. And so that's not done. That's not a luck thing. Like, you have to know what you're doing. So it's impressive. All right. So Positively Frosty, how was your first experience with the draft, and how do you think everything went?
Well, this is my second. I played last.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. You're right.
And last year, I had a great season last year. I went 10-4.
Great team.
But still ended up at, I think, 6th place for the whole league, just because knocked out of the playoffs in the first round or whatever. But this season, I'm seeing some of the things that I really enjoyed last year, and hoping that those will kind of continue over. The Cowboys defense, guys like Prescott did really well for me last year. Kittle did well. AJ Brown. I'm seeing some fresh blood, and of course, I'm a huge football guy. Like, this is my favorite time of year. So overall, I'm just excited. Football season's here, and another way to enjoy the season. Being able to hang out with the community and spend time with friends.
Oh yeah.
So I'm thrilled. I think my team wrapped up really well, and I'm looking forward to kicking all of y'all's asses.
Love it. All right, the gauntlet has been thrown. So I want to mirror what Chris is saying. Thank you all for being in this league. This is something that I just love. Like, and we all have our nerdums. We all have our things that is just like in your bones. You just love it. And this is one of those things. I've played football my entire life and watched it my entire life, and now to be able to be a general manager and do all that stuff, it's kind of fun. But the best part about it is just meeting people, especially with a podcast league, through Discord, through these drafts, and being able to forge friendships and little frenemy type things or what have you, with people that I never would have that's across the country or even out of the country. And so if I can help flex a little bit in my nerdum and help other people find new nerdums, then I am so excited about that. So Chris, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this and be the commish and do this every year, because it's just so much fun for me. So all right.
Thank you for doing it, man. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing it.
Yeah, that's what she said. So all right, our back, sir. So I'm handing it back to you.
Okay, so Thank you guys. I know these are always long, but it's way shorter than half of our episodes. This episode will be out Wednesday more than likely because it is going to take forever once I end this meeting to render all these different cameras and everything. And then I'm going to have to edit it, which there's not a ton that goes into that, but at least I have to get, the theme song and our logo on there. So this will be out Wednesday. You're listening to it on a Wednesday now or watching it. Thank you all so much for this. Jethro, really appreciate you being here. Brob, thank you as always. Shantae, thank you. Frosty, thank you so much. Loki hasn't said a word because he is sitting at the end of time right now on the throne, holding all the threads
Loki is not
together.
by his computer.
No, he's holding the threads of reality together, all the timelines. So that's why
Just
Loki
like real
hasn't
life.
said anything. Yeah, just like real life. So he hasn't said anything. Lydia, thank you. Hughes, thank you. Stitch, Foxy, you guys, thank you guys so much for being part of this. Without you guys, this would not happen. So with that, this has been Every Man's Guide to Nerddom. I'm Chris. That's Dr. Justin, my co-host for today. As always, please be good to each other and stay fresh, cheese bags. See ya.
Nerd rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore, rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore used to be just a made-up word. MCs shied away.